Hey folks, Frank here. We're coming up on our 100th episode, and there's no one we'd rather celebrate this milestone with than you, the listeners who got us here. I'd like to cordially invite you to our Cheers to 100 live episode recording and party on Friday, August 15th at J. Rieger. We'll have food, drinks, and a live panel recording featuring a few of your favorite past guests. You'll have a chance to mingle with our team, along with some local legends and fellow listeners, and you'll be the first to hear about some exciting things we have in store. Head over to our website, somethingaboutKC.org, to learn more and get your tickets today.
There's Just Something About Kansas City is brought to you in part by the generosity of our friends at the Cockrell Family Foundation, the Bergman family, and the Sherman Family Foundation. Thank you.
Well, I could say a welcome to another episode of There's Just Something About Kansas City, but where we are today, it's more like top of the morning to you from right here at Browne's, one of the historic places in Kansas City. It's on the KC Register of Historic Places. They've been in business for almost 140 years, and if you are Irish, you have been to Browne's. If you haven't, shame on you. And joining me right now is Kerry Browne over here and John McClain over here. And this place is just absolutely fantastic. Just
thank you.
Congratulations.
I'll say falcha is the Irish way to say welcome.
Thank you very much.
And Frank, we've welcomed you since you worked over at TV4 and used to come in. So we always love to have you here. And welcome back. And proud to have an important part of Kansas City and the Irish community here.
Yeah, it really is, and it's been here for so many years, and I think I was looking up some stats, and they say that only 0.5% of all the companies in the United States last for more than 100 years. 0.5%. You've been in business for 138 and counting. Yeah. So for all those generations, 5 or 6 generations of the Brownes, and what you've done and what you mean to the Irish community, and this building being historic the way it is, and a fantastic story we're going to tell about Browne's and how you managed to stay alive through all of the things that have gone on in the past. So it has been absolutely incredible.
But Frank, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for our great-grandparents and grandparents who worked so much harder. They built this building when it was outside of town, because we started over at 27th and Jefferson. Right. And then in 1901, this is our modern facility. They moved here. But remember what you just said. 1901. This is their modern facility here. Yes. You can tell by the smooth floor and all. But how brave that was of them to come outside of town and build something up. They were immigrants from Ireland, County Kerry. I love promoting County Kerry. And then their daughter married another immigrant from County Kerry and kept it going. And they went through World War I, World War II, Depression. Think what they all went through. So we kind of came in, and it's much easier. Although John and I have run it longer than great-grandparents, grandparents, my mom and dad and us. Right. So we've run it the longest.
Right, and you really didn't know how to run a business, did you? You sort of, from observing and absorbing what you saw day to day, but when you sit down and have to put the pen to paper and how much does that cost, and how much are we bringing in and doing all the accounting? It was
being naive is a great thing, though, isn't it? Like when you're young, it's like, we can do it. It'll be grand. If you're starting it now, it would be a lot scarier. We were still in college when my dad died, and it's like, let's give it a shot. And I remember thinking, we'll do it a few years, and then we were almost going to be 100, and so we thought, well, let's do it until the store turns 100, and so. Then you know how that goes.
And here we are 38 more years later and continuing on from that
point.
And
I think the reason it worked is you just got to change. The neighborhood changed so much. Mm-hmm. You got to keep adapting over those years. Like, we didn't know what we were doing at first, but still every day we don't, and every day we're reinventing it. And John is a great builder, so he just kept building shelves and building tables and whatever we can do. It's like, we can do that. I can make something for that. And even more recently, with COVID, we put things out back because there's so many great local musicians. Yes. And they can play, and the community comes together. And we love this community. You know how great Kansas City is. They want to come out. They want to support each other, be together, have a pint, an Irish coffee.
And I do have an Irish coffee, folks. I will not lie. It's right there in front of me.
Sláinte.
Sláinte. Yeah. There we go.
Cheers.
This isn't a flat Guinness. It's a soda.
I know it is. Oh, that's smooth. And with another local company, of course, we
It
have
is Five Farms Irish Cream from up in
Irish-
Weston. We love.
my gosh.
There's so many great things around Kansas City. Great distillers, but they're one of the top. Restless Spirit. We do our Irish coffees.
Yeah.
With the Restless Spirit coffee. They're Kansas City group too.
Well, let's talk about the incredible history of this place. I just want to run this down. You talked about it a little bit. This has survived the influenza, okay, pandemic, the COVID pandemic, okay, 2 world wars, Prohibition, thanks to Mayor
Yeah.
Pendergast, okay,
Yeah.
who really didn't want anybody to stop drinking,
Yeah.
okay. He pretended that you could stop drinking, but
he was a frequent Browne's customer, so he helped
there
out a lot.
you go. You also had a graffiti attack we'll talk about, and you're still standing. You moved several times, been bought out in Penn Valley Park, and then the community college right next door to you here now. And the history is incredible, but it's just one of those things. It is Irish history because you just don't know how to say we can't do it.
That's exactly it. yeah.
That's very true. And I think Pat O'Neill has always said that. He said it's a community spirit that cannot be crushed. It's like people said that will never happen, that will never occur, yet it still does. And I think that's part of the reason we involved in the Irish. It's like it's a resilient spirit. And they organized, they got involved in different things, they made changes, and we were just blessed to be raised by really wonderful, good people,
Yeah, right. They're big hearts, and you can always shame an Irishman into helping. Okay, because we all have a guilty conscience.
Like
okay?
I just asked Pete to move the table. Yeah,
right.
Mom trained us well in that. Mom could get anybody, talk them into doing a job in the Huck Finn way that they believed they were honored
Yeah.
to do that. So yeah, she
Yeah.
trained us well, and we are lucky. You said like that our family has continuously owned it
Yeah.
for that long. Like not only do businesses not last long, but to remain in the same family, and we're lucky that our kids want to be part of it, our nieces and nephews, cousins from all over. It's such a part of our family as well as the
Yeah,
local
and
community.
as far as you two are concerned, it's going to run forever.
Forever.
After
Yeah.
after you're gone as
Yeah,
well.
we're planning new ththings all the time, and that's what you got to do. Just keep planning to work with the movement.
That's right. We're in Browne's Irish Marketplace. It has changed names a few times as you have evolved. 1887, Edward and Mary Dillon Flavin, right, from
Correct.
County Kerry, established a grocery store. It was at 2700 Jefferson, and everybody said at that time. Now remember, that's several blocks north of you.
Yeah.
Okay, almost in downtown.
Like where the Scout is, I think.
Where
out
the
there.
Scout is, but the thing is, everybody said, "Oh, it'll never work because you're too far out of downtown." Can you imagine? You're
Yeah,
less than
that
20
far out.
blocks from outside downtown, but it definitely
worked.
it survived and worked. And
And it was in the front of their house, like a little house on the prairie where Olson's General Store.
Right.
So it was just part of their house, which I guess was traditional at the time.
and then 1900, about 13 years later, Kansas City, Missouri, the first upheaval, bought the property where they were, so they had to move. In fact, they established Penn Valley Park, right where the old restaurant and house used to be.
Yeah.
And that was the first sort of upheaval to make it. They probably thought, well, where do we move and how
Yeah.
can we move and what are we going to do? So how was the history from that part?
We don't know how they ended up here, although that we know that it was brave that they came outside of the city limits. A couple years ago, there was workmen out in the street, and they dug up and they found some old cable car rail lines and different things, and they brought them in and they said, your great-grandparents were here before they laid this rail, and they gave us some of the bricks and stuff. So when you think of that, like they walked here, they walked on that. It wasn't, when they first got here, it was just dirt, and there was a horse post out front.
Yeah, right.
So, and they built this building and lived upstairs, and then that was the next one. and
Yeah,
they
the
built that
fourplex,
10 years later.
1910.
Yeah.
And then this one, our third
1914.
building over here, 1914.
Yeah, and the deal is too, the refrigeration system has there's a great history about the refrigeration system.
Well, and like the cooler was actually assembled on site, and
Right.
it was by a local place called Viking Manufacturing, and it originally was like an ammonium. That was how refrigeration used to happen. And the bad thing about ammonium is it was very explosive. So, but fortunately we survived all that, and then it's since been modernized. But I mean, that walk-in cooler as well as the deli case has been here for almost as long as this store's been.
Right, and the incredible part, I think, was, at least I read, that you actually built the store around the refrigeration system, correct?
It was built first.
Yeah.
So there was a tornado or something once. It's like, let's all go in there. That seems like a good, safe place. It survived a lot before.
Right. Then in, I think it was almost 1920, right in that area, James R. Browne and Margaret Flavin took over ownership, right? And they changed it to Browne's Wholesale Grocers at that time, right? But
No, it
it's
was Browne's Grocery. He later started
Browne's Grocery.
Associated Wholesale Grocery.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so it was Browne's Grocery, right?
Yeah.
And it was just
and it
like
was Flavin's, obviously, when her parents had it. So
Yeah,
it turned to
yeah.
Browne's.
Yeah. And then Bob Browne and his wife Mars, that's mom and dad, right? They took over in the 60s, right?
Yeah, 1955, right
Okay.
when they got married. And Jim Browne, my grandpa, they had 11 kids. And they always said they had that many because it took a lot of people to run a business, so they just kept having them. And they had delivery trucks. They did a lot of grocery deliveries. They were known for their meat. They had really good meat. And then when mom and dad took it over, they again kind of changed at the time. And they didn't have as many kids, so we all had to just do more shifts.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the 70s, I think that was the next upheaval, right? Penn Valley Community College, which is right across the street here, took the land between Summit and Broadway. And that not only made you have to, dance around the situation, but the upheaval of families from the Irish community, 450 families, I think, and that also impacted Our Lady of Perpetual Help.
You're right. The whole
Redemptorists. It was the whole area, and you thought, wow, we're losing all the people that come in and buy from us.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
And it wasn't just about the business. Those were 450 people
Yes,
that
friends.
we knew for generations. And it was called the Kerry Patch because people from County Kerry and Ireland settled here. So it was a huge Irish community, but other immigrants too. It was a great, strong community that looked out. And that was so hard on my dad. My dad spent his last years of his life fighting for those people because they did lose a lot.
Yeah.
And that was really hard for him. But the beautiful thing is, and up top we have pictures of different people from that era. They kept coming back. And now
Yes.
their kids and grandkids come back. And that's what's so great. Even though they left, they're still part of this community. And some move away, and they said the best part of coming to Kansas City, they turn around the corner and there's that little brick building they grew up with. And things change in here, but still they feel familiar. And what's great is it's not, people say, oh, they come in for us, but it's not us. It's all the other customers, all the other people that are here that welcome everybody, and how it just kind of becomes a community.
And I think a lot of them like to hear people still speaking the brogue.
Yeah.
There's still people that have the accent, and you have them working here as well, and
Yeah.
it's that's important as well,
Yeah.
right?
On any day you get a couple good strong
Yeah.
Irish. We do some Irish language classes and Irish language parties too. So not just the brogue, we'll try to get you speaking a little Irish
Oh
too.
gosh, yeah, a little Gaelic there. We speak a little Gaelic. We're just at the Gaelic Mass the other day, which they hold annually
Beautiful.
at Redemptorist, and it was just an unbelievable. It's just an unbelievable experience. If you haven't experienced, it's another reason why there's just something about Kansas City.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the Irish Fest and the parade and everything else that goes along with it. Your mom was very observant when they were putting up Penn Valley Community College because the store was here.
It was here.
And so she goes, well, there's a lot of guys working over there, and they're bringing their little buckets of fun. She said, I can do better than that, right? I'm sure
the
that's
mom
the way-
in her.
Yeah,
It's
that
like-
was the mom in
it's
her
like,
with these poor
Bob,
guys.
You're slicing that bologna anyway. And so she said, let's start making them sandwiches. And she did. And because it was so quiet here, like it was energetic for the two of them to have another reason. And then all these guys came in, and mom became their best friends. And they've told me since how she'd help them through hard times because she'd
Yeah.
always sit down with them and
Oh, yeah.
listen to their stories. So sandwiches and a lending ear. And that's kind of started us into the deli. And then when John and I took over, it was just such a natural flow, and we could build from there. But
Yeah, right.
And then mom stayed. My dad died, but she stayed and worked here nonstop and was such an important part of it. And everybody still comes in and tells great stories about her.
About mom, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too, because you gained a whole new clientele, and they do become. It's not even a community; they become family.
Yeah,
You know,
because for lunch they'll come. Like over the years, we had people come every day, 4 or 5 days a week. The TV4 people, a guy who retired a couple years ago came in last week, and he retired, so we hadn't seen him. But he goes, I was here 4 days a week. I saw you guys grow up and your kids grow up. So that's
Yeah.
a really special part of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they were in here for the Irish breakfast as well.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and we had like a UPS guy, and I'll never forget that he just, the first time he walked in here, he just looked totally bewildered. And at some point, Carrie's mom gave him a chocolate chip cookie and a Coke, and he's sitting on the back of the truck, and he thought, I'm going to get through this. This is good. And so we were his regular stop,
Sure.
just to
Here we go.
come and
Ben's
hang out.
handing me.
Speaking of
Listen,
chocolate chip
Somebody's
cookies
and all of a sudden they magically. What leprechaun did this? May I ask?
and
Okay.
hot out of the oven.
There we
They're
are. Hot out of
perfect.
the oven. Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
John
look at
makes
that.
all our cookie dough.
How about that?
And my aunt, who just died last year at 101, came the first time we did it and kind of said, just gave us little tips, and they've paid off over the
They
years.
paid off.
So here, enjoy one. This is chocolate chip, and then those the Dunkin' platters.
Dunkin' Platters.
And they have granola oats, so they're super healthy for you.
Oh
the
yeah,
Dunkin' Platters.
absolutely. Yeah, right. Of course. I'm not gonna eat all these
Here, I'll take
myself.
it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
it's-
we're all gonna have to indulge.
The smell in here when you're baking them too is.
It's so good. It's a shame we don't have smell-o-vision.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll see you later. Oh my God.
A little Five Farms and coffee, a cookie,
Now,
bam.
cookie, can you beat this? That's the best. So in 1983, it must have been a big year because that was when you're deemed historic on the KC Register of Historic Places. The building, the business, the whole thing. That had to be really something. I'd just gotten
It was.
here. Okay, I'd gotten here in 1981. And I worked, of course, at Channel 4, right over there. And we used to come in there all the time. And I can still remember the big deal about it becoming a historic place. We had our trucks were over
Yeah.
there at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole deal was back when you had to roll the giant satellite truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah, they were
we were
big.
right over
Black,
there.
right?
We
Could
were
have
rolling
almost
the
done the
giant.
cable from here, right?
You could have
And
strung the cable, yeah.
I want to give a lot of credit. My Uncle Ed, my dad's brother, lived upstairs in the apartment next door, and he worked tirelessly. That's not an easy thing to go through that whole process, and he really fought and got all the signatures and did everything. So kudos to him that went through, and that was such a proud moment for him.
Yeah.
But also changed the course of everything we do. I mean, to have this historic protected thing, because over the years you talk about losing houses there,
Yeah.
and how it helped us become more of an icon in Kansas
Right.
City.
Or somebody coming in again. I'm sure most of the stuff when KCMO bought the where Penn Valley Park is, and then you have here Penn Valley Community College. It's almost like eminent domain. They're gonna take it one way or the other
Yeah.
if they want it, and yet he fought and got
yeah.
that done to make sure he
So
preserved this. Right?
thank you, Uncle Ed. He was
Yeah.
he loved history, loved Kansas City, was a councilman and real involved.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, as that continues on now with everything that you're doing in the community, all the Irish stuff and everything in here basically is Irish. Okay, they keep saying don't run out of, was it Barry's tea?
Yeah, Barry's
Do
tea.
not run
Do
out of
not.
Barry's tea. They tell you all the time. You go to Ireland several times a year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you go with the empty suitcases, right? Are you one of those
Yeah.
travelers?
Well, I mean, shipping has gotten on so much. If we can carry the products back, because most everything we can, our whole line of groceries is from Ireland, and those are shipped over. We go over and get pottery and sweaters and tweeds and jackets. We have a lot of our family still over there, so they keep sourcing stuff throughout
Yeah.
the year, which is so lucky. Guess what I just found? And we go to markets, so we get like handmade crafts and things that might not be available otherwise. But it's an amazing opportunity, and we're allowed to go over with our kids and have time there, as well as supply the store and help our customers. Like last night, we had a big travel night here where we tell people about traveling there because people are always asking. We're able to share our experiences with other people to help them
right.
have a better Irish experience.
Yeah, right. And you not only do that, I'm going to run down the other list I have here. You have Irish cooking classes, right? You do those there as well. Do you have Irish baking classes, John?
I haven't yet.
But let's start them.
Yeah.
You
He
have
makes a mean Irish soda bread
Yeah.
and scones.
There you
so-
go. Yeah, Sarah almost said she made you some breakfast loaves that she is
She
very
makes
famous
great
for.
breakfast
good.
bread.
She was going to make sourdough bread, and then she goes, "No, I think they know how to do all the Irish sourdough."
Right.
You have travel programs, which you
do.
said you just did. Music, of course. Eddie Delahunt. Anybody who knows the elders, of course.
Shay
Mac family,
McInerney, yeah,
the Mac family
that's
band.
great.
Shay McInerney, Sarah's kids. I have played here out back when the weather's nice, and so you really do embrace the Irish community and just keep it going, don't you?
Yeah, and there's people ask for more, like somebody said, can we have a dog night? Yeah, let's do a dog night or a game night.
Are they all Irish setters?
No, we allow German Shepherds, other. But what's great is the back patio has been such a coming together of the community. When those, like it started with Eddie over COVID, it's like, what do I do? And people come together, they pack their chairs, they do whatever. What I love is Grandpa's out there with a pint, the kids are out playing basketball, it's 3 or 4 generations together, just running around having a great time, and those are the best days ever.
Yeah, Ian's leading the band.
Yep.
Of course.
Ian always gets to play with the
He
band.
always
And
gets
you
to play
talked
with the
about
band.
having the elders. When we turned 120 years old, the Irish Trade Board came to us and said, that's a big deal. And we grew up here. You don't recognize.
I told you what a big
yeah.
deal it is, right?
When you see it, 120 years, you ought to have a big event. So we had Browne's Irish Street Fair.
Yeah. Which is a
And
big deal.
Yeah, the elders played at that first one, and there was like 3,000 or 4,000 people there. It just blew us away. And Pete said to us, "It's like your mom and dad are right here watching you. Everybody's here. The whole community's together. This is what's great about Browne's." And then we kept doing it every year, and the elders came back, and now we do smaller versions, but it's great.
Yeah, right. And they just everybody keeps coming back. And the community itself, with all of the Irish people and how tight knit the community is, really helps. And then it just sort of branches out from there.
And they don't have to be. I just want to clear.
Yeah.
Irish or not, like the whole community is always welcome.
Yes.
And we get so many non-Irish too. That's kind of the base glue, but they're so welcoming. Everybody's always welcome at Browne's.
And we talked about how historic this place is. This is the oldest Irish business in the world outside of Ireland. And that to me is just incredible. People go, well, how'd they end up in Kansas City to begin with?
Yeah.
When they came from Kerry and Connie.
And
Kerry.
don't you wish you knew?
Yes.
Like I wish I could call them up and travel in time and go.
Right. You haven't ever done one of those, what are they, the 23andMe's or any of that?
And we don't
DNA
need to
stuff
because
or
Mom
whatever.
and Dad's family are both still right there.
Oh, they're still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we just lost, the last oldest generation of those, but they're 15 minutes apart, and we grew up knowing all of them. So it's
all the old stories. There was never an old story of how they ended up here. Edward and Mary Dillon.
My grandpa, it said the first group we don't know, but when the relatives from Kerry came and saw it here, and we drove up to Weston, they go, "Well, it looks just like Kerry." And when my mom, I remember every time she went, she goes, "Looks just like Kansas City."
Yeah.
It is kind of the green rolling hills, unless it's after a drought, it can look like each other. So we don't know why, like in that time, in the 1880s, how would they even get here? But my grandpa, it said, and he told my dad, he was on the boat, and some guy there goes, "Well, I'm going to Kansas City." It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Can we go?
Yeah.
We don't know where it is now. Can we go?
But can we go? And he was first a cable car conductor here when he was really young, and then he opened a bar down on the boulevard called Ups and Browns before he met my grandma. So he did so that's at least one story. But then there were some other relatives here, so I don't know how true that is. But
Irish have great stories.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take that as gospel. As
gospel.
much as you can take
And
an Irishman for gospel.
That's what they always
That's
do.
right.
True
absolutely,
story,
yeah.
true story. They
Yeah.
always follow it with that.
Right.
True story.
Yeah, and I also understand that when you do travel to Ireland, that the entire country knows you're coming. Okay, like I said, you go with the empty suitcases. What is your mindset when you go? Are you looking for new things? Are you looking to go back to the past more? What is in your mindset when you go to Ireland besides visiting relatives and going back home?
I think the beauty is we kind of never know, and then you're surprised by what you find.
It's like our business that evolves.
Yeah, it evolves. We go to have a great time, and we always do. One place we always go to is Kerry Woolen Mills. It's down in Beaufort in County Kerry, and they opened like the 600s and had the old mills, and they've adapted over the years, and even COVID, they found a way to bring water in to run the system and then put it back and actually cool the water, which is an amazing thing. And they make a lot of the tweed that's used all over the country in different things. So we're really proud, and we always make sure we go to them. But then every time you meet 3 new suppliers, something you'd never seen before. We talk about pottery, and pottery is not the easiest thing to bring home.
No, huh?
But there's an amazing man, and my son loves pottery. So last few times he's welcomed my son Rory to make pottery with him. So not only do we get to bring it back, Rory gets to learn the art of Irish pottery making. So we didn't see that happening.
Right.
And I think that's just like with Browne's, being open to new things is what makes it work.
Yeah.
And so it's always, when we come back, the girls and different customers like, what'd you bring, what'd you bring? So it's so exciting when you open it up and it's like, wow, where'd you find that? So.
Okay, that's all great, but where do you put it? This place
I know.
is absolutely from wall to wall stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you sort of weed it out and
Well, you know,
have a big sale before
Right
Christmas
after
every year?
Christmas, people came in, these shelves were empty.
Oh,
empty,
really?
Empty, empty.
It was frightening how.
Yeah, and so,
Empty it was.
yeah. But my sister Deb, wouldn't you say, John, like she can make a display out of anything. She can always find
Yeah.
another inch
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah, because it is all just Irish themed, that's for sure. But like you said, you open arms to anybody who wants to come in. You
Right.
also have the largest Irish whiskey collection, I think, in the entire Midwest. I mean, even the big box stores can't compete with what you have, especially with some of the bottles you find.
Yeah.
That you know where to get them, but other people just would have no idea where to get them, and they probably are in demand from some of the people from the old country, right?
They are, and those brands they grew up with, and we got to go to a couple of distilleries and pick up twice a year. We try to have a private barrel that's bottled just for us, and it'll be something you can't get anywhere else. And so Clonakilty down in Cork is beautiful, right on the water, and we picked out a barrel from them. We just got one from Keeper's Heart, aged in cider casks. So they're not only brands that aren't everywhere, there's some that are literally nowhere else but here. 'Cause
Right.
a couple times a year we get a private barrel.
Right, and this is so smooth that I can't,
Yeah.
I can't even taste. The dangerous part is I can't taste the whiskey, which is good.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways because that's the way you want it, but it is.
Honey, I didn't taste the whiskey at all.
That'll, honey, I thought I was just drinking Irish Farms. I thought it was Irish Farms on the rocks. No, I think you had a little bit more than that, Frank, a little bit more than that. So, let's talk about Irish Fest and the Irish Parade. Okay, when did you get involved? When did all that start to happen here in KC as well?
In the late 80s, Pat O'Neill came in and he asked to hang a poster to get people, and it was like a Uncle Sam leprechaun look, and it's like, I want you to join the parade committee.
good, yeah.
And he talked me into it, and that was like 35 years ago, and I've been on the board for that long, been on the committee, been involved. It now starts right across the street. We start lining up literally on our corner.
Right.
And it starts at 33rd and Broadway. But it's been such an important part because, for one, if anybody wants to join, we'd love to have new people because
Sure.
we've all been on a long time. I've met some of my best friends. We've all been to each other's weddings, watched each other kids grow up. They know us. They know our family. It's such a great organization. And it's given back so much to Kansas City. Like, people come in from all over. On a big year, you might get 300,000 people at the parade. It's a coming together. Before all the other parades that are happening now, other than American Royal,
Right.
it was the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And there was some in the city, I might not be exactly right on this, but at the turn of the century, the original St. Patrick's Day parades, and then they didn't happen again until 1973
Okay.
when they came back. But it's something everybody looks forward to all year. And again, not just the Irish, a time to get off school, not to play hooky, but to be together.
Oh, it's to play
with
hooky.
Well, to play hooky, then have a great time. And it's not just like some people think, oh, it's a big day to drink. You can drink,
Sure.
but you don't have to. It's a family day. Like out back, we have a big family event, but you can do whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day other than embrace it. But the good thing about the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, too, they're a year-round organization. They're really philanthropic. They work with harvesters. We do a golf tournament. So we do things year-round. It's an amazing group.
Yeah, so the parade, now, was it Mike Murphy got it back? It was a Mike Murphy,
on the radio show.
KCMO radio is Mike Murphy's show, of course. Aliens are going to visit anytime.
Yeah.
You know what?
We're ready.
He might be right,
Yeah.
too. I mean, they're coming. All right, they're coming. But it was Mike Murphy and
At Italian Gardens.
In Italian Gardens. Italian Gardens
Yeah.
that got the Irish parade.
And went
St.
around,
Patrick's
I
Day
have a
parade.
picture here, some of it, just went around that block with a signboard on the front, start a parade, signboard on the back, end of parade.
Yeah,
That was it. And
that-
who would think this many years later? And Pete McCluskey's here. He's going to talk to you in a bit later. He's served on the board for many years too. Great stories.
Yeah, right.
And there was no alcohol involved in that first parade either.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
With Mike Murphy?
Are you to walk around? Let's go for a walk.
Sláinte.
Well, let's go walk that off. Yeah, absolutely. So, as far as Browne's concerned, we'll get Pete in here in a moment, and we'll talk about the parade and the Irish Fest and everything that happens during the month of March on a yearly basis here. Let's talk about the future of Browne's. Where are you? You're saying now that the young kids are very, very involved and want to keep it going, correct?
Right. And our son, especially, he's always designing shirts and different things. And he's the one that said this summer, he goes, 1887 is a big deal.
Yes.
You open in 1887. So he came up with a new logo that just has 1887 across it, and we're starting an 1887 club. And that is a big deal. And again, growing up with it, we've kind of taken it for granted. But he's so proud to be the 5th generation and to have it keep going, like you said, 0.5% to survive that long.
Yes.
And
right.
we're going to grow the outdoor events. We just got a small, lovely grant from the city to work on some additional outdoor things for the patio to help get ready for World Cup. We're looking forward to World Cup. A big part of it is just 2 blocks away down at Liberty Memorial. So that'll be so fun.
Yeah, they could bring the Irish World Cup team here.
Yeah,
Nice
that
city to
wouldn't be
plant them
bad.
in Kansas
Yeah.
City. That would be, make
They
it their
could
home
hang out
base.
here and have a pint or two.
Oh, I'm sure no matter what country is involved, they'll know about
We have some
Browne, so.
Guinness Smittix on tap. I think they'd
that's
flow
it.
beautifully.
Smittix is still my favorite. So
And then
don't crucify me for that.
We're looking at expanding some areas to do more regular whiskey tastings, have a speakeasy, have some more kind of private things. So probably in the next few months there'll be some big announcements of some new things that are happening.
Okay, we made a magic switch of microphones here, and we brought in Pete McCluskey, and we're going to talk about the Irish Fest and the Irish Parade. And then I want to talk to you both about Kansas City and what the city means to you as well and everything. So, Pete, talk about this. And I know we talked a little bit about the evolution of it when it started with the one person in a parade with the beginning of parade and back of parade type thing. They had the sign, the sandwich sign on them. And now it's 300,000 people get together for St. Patrick's Day.
For a good time.
Just an incredible growth in this town and over that period of time, and to continue it on. Talk a little bit about the parade and the Irish Fest as well.
Okay, fair enough. Well, first of all, with regard to the parade, last year we celebrated the 50th anniversary parade.
Right.
And every year, and Kerry and I are both on the board, one of our jobs is to select a grand marshal for the parade. And last year for the 50th, we selected as grand marshal collectively the survivors, descendants, and representatives of the founders of the first parade. So we had a Hogarty, and an O'Neill, and a Murphy, and a Lynch, who are, you can see all of them pictured in the first parade that she talked about with the sandwich board sign. We had their relatives collectively march as the grand marshal for the parade, and it was
so special.
And they were moved. I mean, I think they they felt very honored to be recognized, and we used to say there wouldn't have been and you kind of said this talking about this store, but there wouldn't have been a 50th if somebody didn't put on 1 through 49. You know what I mean?
Those were a lot harder. Like we kind of come in, and that was to take something off the ground was a huge feat.
Oh, it's a big deal, yeah.
It is. It's. I think it's considered the largest one-day civic event in Kansas City. Not counting the Royals or Chiefs parade, but every year.
This is a yearly thing for sure. So
for sure, and also what sets this parade apart to a large extent from some of the other parades around the country, our parade is always on the high holy day of March 17th.
Yeah.
Most cities have moved it to the Saturday or the Sunday prior. We understand why they do that. Logistics are a little tougher during the week, but we feel pretty strongly about keeping it on March 17th.
Yeah, that's why you're talking about people playing hooky. The kids love it when you have it on March 17th if it's Monday through Friday.
Hey, my mom kept all of us out of school every year.
See that? Yeah. Otherwise, you're in there, getting browbeaten by the good sisters or the good brothers or whomever was teaching you at that time. And then the Irish Fest was sort of that then morphed into, I mean, the parade is obviously still here, but then the Irish Fest became part of the celebration of in March and of St. Patrick's
Right.
Day.
I have said this many times. I think the sum is greater than the parts. We have many good organizations. We have the parade committee, the parade. We have Irish Festival. I just checked the numbers. We're celebrating this year the 22nd annual Irish Festival. And that festival actually was born from two neighborhood festivals, a Brookside and a Westport festival. I think Westport was Memorial Day and Brookside was on Labor Day, and somebody watching this podcast can correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it's the other.
And I'm sure I'll be corrected, but that merged into the Kansas City Festival 22 years ago at Riverfront Park, Berkeley Park.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I remember it well because most all of us were working it, and Friday night was magnificent. The weather was beautiful, and then all hell broke loose in a storm, and it wiped out the rest of the weekend.
Oh, wow.
It was water. It was
St. Patrick
knee-deep
only gives
water.
you so much.
Yeah.
He only gives you so much, okay?
It was a lot of rain, even for Ireland standards.
Oh,
That-
yeah,
that-
right. You guys should be used to the
Yeah.
rain.
And
Yeah,
I don't know if this
absolutely.
is true or just anecdotal, but I had heard that there were some representatives from Crown Center that happened to be down there at that festival.
Okay.
And I think Crown Center probably wasn't doing a lot on Labor Day weekend.
Or,
This-
or any weekend,
Yeah,
for
any-
that
well,
matter.
We're free.
And if it rains at Crown Center, it's cement. We don't
Yeah,
just
right,
go into
exactly.
a drain. And so we moved there the next year, and it's been a marriage made
Perfect,
in heaven,
yeah.
I must say. They're very accommodating. It's a great site for the festival, and
Yeah,
it's a good time.
And you've got to pull in the cooperation of the entire city. I mean, the mayor has to be involved, the city council has to be involved, police have to be involved, EMTs have to be
Yeah.
involved. There is so much more than just saying, okay, we have a band and we're going to march down this
Right.
street. It just doesn't happen that way, right?
Right.
So the logistics have to be a year. It almost has to be a year-round.
Well,
thing,
it really is.
Yeah.
Even for the parade to a certain extent, but
Exactly.
this is a year-round enterprise to put these events
That's
on.
all.
Absolutely.
So, well, what is the future of the parade and the Irish Fest? Just keep on marching on.
Keep on keeping on. Hope some youngins come aboard 'cause
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
getting any younger.
Again, welcome people to
Yeah.
volunteer at Irish Fest, volunteer at Parade Committee. Great groups that we've met each other, and how many friends do we know? And we're all like family
Yeah.
all these years.
I
that
met
we
my
wouldn't
wife
have
on the
met.
parade
Yeah.
committee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of romances.
Yes, there's
that
there's
were
a-
born from this
from the parade
from this
committee.
committee or other Irish committees.
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
In
Yeah.
fact, your daughter ended up with a guy from County Kerry. Is that right?
the shameless plug. My daughter's dating a Galway man.
There
Mark
you go.
Farrell.
I'm sorry, Galway. Man.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
Well, this is
I
funny.
like that you're plugging for Kerry, though. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the deal too. This is funny because I can feel my mother and my grandmother sitting right here, both as Irish as can possibly. Grandma went to church every day. Of
course she did.
Mom went 3 times a week. They went to novena, did all those things that Catholics do. Okay, but Grandma's from Galway, a Bay, and she immigrated here to the United States. She met my grandfather, who was from Germany at that time, and then my mom met my dad. His dad's relatives were sea captains in the Spanish Armada. And what happened with the Spanish Armada? They got sunk
Jet-
off of the coast of
Sunk
Ireland.
Island jet.
What happened? They ended up intermingling with the Irish, and here I am.
Bam, here we
I
are.
am. As they call us, the Black Irish, right? There's a little bit of tint there from the Spanish. And my mom always said, "Yeah, you're sort of a half-breed." That's thanks, Mom. It's great coming from you. It's great. But I just feel them. I just feel that Irish right now, and it's just it's a wonderful feeling. So it's a good deal.
Always proud to be Irish.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like you said about Kansas City. You're so proud to be Irish. You're so proud to be Kansas City. And they're two things we feel so strongly about.
And let's talk about Kansas City and how you both feel about this city and what it has meant to you to be here.
Well, I think not only are we the oldest Irish business outside of Ireland, we're the oldest retail business in Kansas City, and we're equally proud of both of that. And when you think that they welcomed my grandparents and great-grandparents and how they've embraced us over the years and keep coming back, that's like we show you these shirts, like our KC Shamrock, Pizza and Browne's KC Shamrock. KC is such an important part of who we are, and we love the community. It's the community is why we're here. And you go to other cities, and you just don't feel it. Even like you walk down the street here and say hi to somebody, and next thing you know, you're old friends and exchanging numbers on an elevator. You get somebody's life story. Other cities don't do that. You say hi, and they look at you, and it's like
what's wrong with you?
But there's just something about, like I hate to say it, something about Kansas City where you come back, even on a trip, you come back, it's like, oh yeah, these are our people, we belong here. And that's why I think too, like our relatives that live far away always want to come back to Browns and come back to Kansas City, and they feel this connection here, even if they haven't lived here for 20, 30 years. And it doesn't hurt. Like, I'm a baseball girl growing up with Royals, love the Chiefs too, but just our sports teams, I think, is what give us a sense of stronger community, because we all don't agree on so many different things, different times. How about those Chiefs? I mean, at any given day in here, people, how about those Chiefs? Well, what's going on with the Royals? Just here they won their opener at spring training. It's something that's common that everybody can relate to. And I mean, the current now, how exciting is that? And Sporting KC. So I think the sports is something that we have here that really holds us together, that makes us more of a stronger community.
You bet. Pete?
I echo what she said. I mean, I'm born and raised Kansas. I'm a dot. For those watching at home,
right,
I'm a dot, proud dot. But and I think the state line is blurred. Number one, I get tired of the Kansas, Missouri stuff. You know, we're all one big.
We're all one.
We're all one big happy family, happy city.
Yeah.
I couldn't be prouder of the accomplishments of this town. I agree with you.
Exactly.
I've been a buyer for several companies in my past career, and a lot of guys calling me from like New York and when they would come here, they'd say, "Man, you have something here." You know, I know you're from back east originally.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's my
guy,
hometown. Yeah,
but
spent too many years in Philadelphia.
We're kind of a secret, really. For a lot
we
of
are.
people.
And I kind of, aren't you feel a little bad like we made the list of top 50 best places to visit this year or something? It's like, don't tell everybody.
Right.
Like, we want to keep it kind of
Well,
secret.
the World Cup Committee has already told the people who are coming here from all over the world the one stop you really want to make, no matter where your team is home based, is Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay,
that
says a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And how exciting that the world does get to see a different side, because you used to talk and you go somewhere, it's like, oh, there are cows running down the street.
All my
It's
friends
like,
still think that.
Yeah, and let them think it. We'll enjoy all this.
Yeah, right.
I mean, look at the parkways. Don't you love driving down Ward Parkway any season? Like, it's so beautiful all the time, and you see people out walking and they're waving. We're just friendly, happy people.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Well,
right.
you mentioned the cow thing. The mascot for the Irish Festival is a cow. I mean, we don't take ourselves so seriously that we don't embrace that.
Cow
that
with the
humor.
shamrock.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, the cow with the shamrock. Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to toast Browns and Kansas City and the Irish Fest with whatever Pete has just brought to the table. I have no idea.
What's something pretty
I'm gonna have to
special.
have Ben drive me home. It's okay. I'm not. What is this?
This is Redbreast, one of my favorite whiskeys. But this particular Redbreast was finished in American oak from the Ozarks.
Oh, wow.
In fact, we did a tasting here. Browns does tastings here periodically.
Yes, you do. Your whiskey
We do,
tasting.
whiskey
And
tastings are
so
very
we had
popular.
someone from Middleton, right, come over
Yeah, the
from
distillery in Cork
in
that
Cork
makes all of it.
and did a tasting introduction of this particular whiskey.
And it's a Missouri Redbreast. It's only first available, wasn't ever available in Ireland. And they did the intro to it. We had a huge party out back introducing Missouri Redbreast
Oh, gosh.
to
I
the
took
world.
my glasses
here.
off, so I can't tell
Yeah,
how much
thanks,
I put in
Pete,
there.
yeah.
Don't over pour
sure,
by
Pete.
all means, huh?
Oh, no, I never do that. Absolutely not. So so you have this in Ozarks oak, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But did you have to then send the barrel over to Ireland to have the alcohol put in it and then sent back, or did they bring the alcohol and put it in the barrel?
No, and this is through Middleton. This isn't our private barrel, so
Okay.
they did do a larger supply. They sent the barrels, the Missouri oak barrels, to Middleton and Cork. And we've learned since that Missouri oak is like the most desired, like for wineries and everywhere
I didn't
around the
know that.
world, because of the growing season. It's tighter and it gets more to the woody feel. And again, I'm not exactly right, but from what I picked up on that. So to have that Missouri oak, they did another one in Kentucky oak a few years before, and then they'll have another one in a few years. But this one is really, really special. Because then it say on there the Missouri oak, and
Yeah, it does have Missouri oak
and it
on the
was
bottle,
real
yeah.
limited. What they made, they made. We have a few bottles left, and that's it. When
Yeah.
it's done, it's done.
That's wonderful. Well, here's what we're going to do. To the Irish, to Browns, and to Kansas City, because there's just something
Fair enough.
About-
Sláinte.
about Kansas
To your
City.
health.
Sláinte.
To your health. Okay, you ready to go? Yep. All right, buddy. I'm sitting here with Ian Browne right now. He is the favorite of the High Kings and the Elders. He is a music aficionado and the leader of the band. When anybody's out here playing in the back, or you get an Irish band playing somewhere in Kansas City. How are you?
Oh, good.
Everything's good. Okay, I hear you not only saw the High Kings and the Elders at the Kaufman Center, but you also went to St. Louis to see him as well, right?
Yep.
Talk about that for a second. Tell me what happened in St. Louis.
So we play all new Bowen.
Okay.
We have tracing windows and there's 2 bones at Irish Market. So we're the events. So we're excited. So in Kansas City. So yeah.
They had you up on stage in St. Louis, didn't they?
Yeah, we did.
Because the audience wasn't getting into it enough, were they? They needed you up there to lead the band, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm cool. At first, down there for stage. And then go ahead, sit to stage.
So he told you to sit on the stage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you play your whistle?
Oh.
Play tin whistle?
Yeah.
Did you? You want to give us a little tin whistle here?
Sure.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job, buddy. It's a good job. What was that? What was the song?
This is so called Irishman.
Irish Man.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That is great. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Yep.
Yep. And I know you love Kansas City, don't you?
Yep.
You love Kansas City, and all the people love you too, Ian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you bet. There wouldn't be Browns without Ian.
Yep.
Okay, just remind your mom of that. Okay, buddy.
There's Just Something About Kansas City is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization with the mission of documenting the stories that have built our city to inspire and educate generations to come. Our work is made possible by the generous support of local partners such as the Cockrell Family Foundation, the Bergman family, and the Sherman Family Foundation. For more information about how you can help us share these stories, visit our website at somethingaboutKC.org. Thank you.